What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am stashed away in a bunker somewhere deep in Appalachia, and I decided that I want to talk to you guys tonight. I have a little stream. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, just to make sure. Share this out real quick. Wait for some folks to hop in. And then we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about what I want to talk about too, but you guys get the point. Current location. I think I'm going to order something to eat here up in the hotel. I don't know what I'm going to get though. We'll figure it out. Did you get a tattoo or haircut before while in the dark? Yeah. I was getting a haircut and somebody called me and then that froze up YouTube. So I think all you guys had was audio. Frustrating. Sam Kemp, what's up, man? Nice to have you in here. All right. What are we going to get? What can we get here? Wow. Difficult to see. If you guys have any questions, let me know before I get started here. Pimp my pasta. Okay. Ooh, difficult decisions here. Nothing good, it seems. What's your favorite token out of the 5? Which 5 are you referring to? And that comes from Joe. We'll share this here. Which token is your favorite out of the 5? Indian food, man, you see, if I get Indian food, that's just you're rolling the dice there. You're rolling the dice because you just don't know how you're going to feel when you wake up in the morning. And I've got to be on my game. So this is a difficult decision. Let's check. Japan Express. We're not doing Japan Express. I need to eat some meat here. We got to figure this out. Carrabba's is pretty good, but the food is extremely expensive. I don't like getting expensive food per se. Joe says Hex, PLS, PLSX incentive token in the original eHex. I would say for myself personally, I like PLS quite a bit. I think PLS is where I'm hanging my hat on. Now, I do understand the implications of Hex, and I also understand the reason why Hex exists. As per the founder, Richard Hart, I understand these things. But PLS, I think, guys, I didn't get into Hex day one. I'm not like a day one person. I'm a late 2020 guy. So for me, PLS and PLSX represents a lot of opportunity. And I think I think people feel the same way. So that's what I like. Incentive token, I think incentive token's going to rip, have exposure to it. PLSX is going to outperform Pulse in the latter half of the bull run in the parabola. These tokens do very, very well, these DEX tokens, and especially PulseX. I think that has a lot to do with the buy and burn really becomes pronounced when those pools are getting chewed up by lots of buyers. So that buy and burn is buying as well. So PLSX will be very fun. It will be fun to watch as it rips to the upside in the latter half there. And the original EHEX. EHEX is interesting. You know why EHEX is interesting? Because it's better than like 99% of crypto out there, even though it's quote unquote been abandoned by the founder. So there's still community attached to it. And that's what people don't understand. It's like, it's the community that matters. And there's a large swath of hexagons of people who really like EHEX and want to see it succeed. And not only that, they are putting economic value towards protocols that will help EHEX succeed. So I think we'll get in a situation with EHEX where in some instances, in some situations, the price might not be as high, but it will have a higher ROI. And there's a couple factors that goes into that. You know, one of the factors is the thickness of the liquidity. I think there's certainly less than $1 million of liquidity on Ethereum. I think it's less than 500,000 if I'm not mistaken. So EHEX, less than $500,000 of liquidity as compared to PHEX. Now, of course, anybody could pull that liquidity, chop it by 75% and then pump stuff, and then you're off to the races. But I think the fact that EHEX isn't as heavy, and given the right market dynamics and the right participants and Ethereum taking off, EHEX could do very well. BWG says, let's go Rags. First time catching you live in a while. What's up, BWG, man? It's been a minute. Mobius, what's good, man? He's got the alien stuff. Dude, alien's crushing it. Alien's just crushing. I think we can bring it up, right? Let's just bring it up. I find it very interesting that a protocol that is doing as good as Alien, is doing as good as UFO, doing as well as PTGC, just doesn't get any love, man. Why is that? It just doesn't make any sense. PTGC ripped, UFO is ripping. UFO is like, I mean, this is versus Pulse. This is going all the way back to beginning of May, folks. And you still only have 50. I mean, you got 39 buyers and 18 sellers. On average, it's like 50 per day. And then the friggin' liquidity is $1 million of the quill, $500,000 of almost 600K worth of Pulse. Like, what? And it feels like people's heads are so far stuck up their asses and they're afraid of what everybody thinks that they're just not going to get involved. Doesn't make any sense, man. Come on, guys. You can play responsibly in crypto. If RH pulls liquidity to smack the price up, won't it make it difficult for people to exit? I mean, if we're at $30 million of liquidity right now, 15 million of WETH, or rather a WPLS, I'd have to take a look. Let's say it totals 40 million and he cuts it in half to 20 million, or he cuts it by 75%. You know, you're still in the millions and millions of dollars. People will be able to exit. Not everybody sells at the same time. That was the question from BWG. If Richard changes his mind, decides ETH is a great chain again, that's why it's good to be a little exposed to EHEX. Yeah, and I think it's going to go anyway. I think it'll rubber band up just like all the other Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash. There's still a tremendous amount of financial energy in those. And there's a lot of people that make a lot of gains. So why would it EHEX be the same, even though a founder decided to go a different direction? UFO crushing it. Speaking of freaking people's heads being stuck up their butts, let's go to Titan X real quick. And ask your favorite influencer why they're gatekeeping you from some really good stuff here. I'll tell you guys right now, right at this very second, this is probably the last opportunity to get in relatively cheaply based on the inflation that is coming due for Titan X, decreasing precipitously from now until, really November. And then eventually there's just not going to be inflation coming out anymore. And you have tons of protocols being launched on it. Morpheus is going to be launched on it. So my company is actually building that one, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to tell you guys when, but it's going to be soon. And I'm telling you, this train is about to leave the station. And I really hope that you take advantage of the opportunity in a responsible way. I'm not asking you, or I'm not telling you to ape in, but participate, man. This is crypto. You're allowed to have fun. Hex Monkey, good evening. Brandon and everyone, good evening. Mobius says, loving my X's on PTGC. It hit the 1 year mark today. What is it at this point? Like 500X, 600X, 400X? What is it now? Maybe more than that. Are we in the thousands? Let's check. PTGC, roughly about 125K worth of liquidity in Hex. And that's Hex. So the total liquidity is, 260, 125, 130. And Hex, $500,000 worth of pulse side liquidity with PTGC. $65,000. I'm sorry, $80,000 or so. $85,000 worth of PLSX. $115,000 worth of DAI. And then all the other pairs, right? They've got so many. Doing what they do best. So, guys, shout out to PTGC. Shout out to UFO. Let's take a look at Alien. Alien's starting to ramp back up. Classic charts here. And it will hit all-time high before you know it. Things take off, guys. Hex is doing its thing, up 17% in one day. How does that make everybody feel? It's nice to see this long wick defended very well. This drawdown here to penny 0.011. And from that level 3 days ago, when you knuckleheads, you jeets try to sell it off, it's up 40%. Means something, folks. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let's see what happens here. I think at this point we've established a pretty solid floor range. So 0.005 down to 0.003. So the question is, we gotta figure out a way to. We got to draw the same chart that he's using. Yeah. What farms would you guys like to see for Texan? What pairs? What pairs do you think would be good? I think the first thing that we're going to do with Texan is we're going to fix the stats site. That's going to be something that we look at in 2025 here. And then I'd like to start working on Texan liquidity and incentivize people to create some primary pairs, and then also incentivize communities to work together as well. Yeah, I think Hex Monkey, Texan, and PLS is big. I would like to see a thick Texan Hex, Texan Weth, Texan, maybe some stables in there. And then, yeah, Texan Ophir to get that drip. So farms are extremely powerful, folks. Extremely powerful for project and protocol. In fact, I think people just underestimate how powerful that can actually be if it's done right, marketed right. So that's going to be, those two things are going to be checked off this year. Those two things. Yeah. Texan liquidity. So the way that this would work is you would put your liquidity, you would put maybe Texan and WPLS, for example, into a front end that would be deployed on potentially a Uniswap V3 or a Uniswap V2. That liquidity would, and then you get some sort of drip from that. And on top of that drip of the, whatever in token that you want, emissions token, you'll also get trading fees as well. But the farm manages those positions for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So it's very nice. Yeah, everybody here thought I forgot about Texan. Here's what I got to say, guys. There's two things I got to say. Texan there's a lot of supply out there. There's tons of supply. There's 20,000 wallets worth of supply, which apart from the RH stuff, that's probably the most. Now, I guess in a way you could consider most of that supply sunk. It's because it's given to people that don't even know how to use MetaMask. I'm not knocking them. I mean, they can learn how to use MetaMask, but they put these MetaMask wallet addresses in, but they just don't know crypto. So out of that, like how many people are Pulse Chain folks? 20,000 wallets, maybe like 5,000 of you guys participated, maybe. And obviously there's referrals and things like that. Texan's an extremely powerful contract. And the only reason it doesn't get, more attention is because Pulse Chain is an absolute brutal place to launch anything and talk about that's not RH. That's the bottom line. All the crap that you got to go through from all these mouth breathers. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because why? Pulse Chain is permissionless and you have the ability to go carve out your own thing. Adam, yeah, nice. Yeah, good to hear about Texan again. Yeah. Maybe the best time to do something with Texan is when everybody has forgotten about it. That might be the best time. But we'll get some stats up. We'll make it pretty. Shareable. It's going to be here. It's going to stick around, guys. It's not dead. It's going to be here a long time. Be here forever. For Titan X, all those gains will be absorbed back where they belong in Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. Hexy Trucker, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm not taking that mentality, man. I'm not taking that mentality. I don't want to. I don't want to attack people. I don't. When you walk into a room, okay. So imagine this. All right. Picture this in your head. You walk. You walk into a church like auditorium, okay, and there's people there, and they're happy. They're excited to be there. They're worshiping. It's just a good vibe, right? Okay. Now juxtapose that with walking to a jail cell with 50 people who are getting booked. People aren't happy. People aren't high-fiving. People are half drunk. People are freaking loaded. This and that. There's like a spirit in each one of those rooms, right? There's a spirit that occupies that room. There's a spirit of joy in one room. There's a spirit of angst and animosity and anger and fear in another room. When I go to the Titan X community, the spirit that I'm absorbing is a spirit of joy, a spirit of supporting your fellow man, a spirit of working together, a spirit of harmony. If I come to Pulse Chain, the small vocal minority of people actually control the feeling of the entire room, which is why I beg good people to stand up and call idiots out. And some of you are, and that's good. You got to keep it up. But it is not a welcoming place. It's very hostile place. And I want those guys to win. I want people who help themselves to win. They've banded together. They've done their damn thing. I don't know how else to say it. And I think that protocol is about to take off. I've been talking to you guys about it for a whole year. I've not been as outspoken as Marco, but I've tweeted about it. I've talked on people's streams about it. I've talked with my folks about it. And I think it's going to do well. And I'm willing to put my reputation on it because inevitably something bad happens to that contract, Titan X tanks. Everybody here, they're all about the receipts. They're going to take this and clip it and throw it back in my face. It's just stop. So I take a risk. I take a reputational risk talking about this. I don't want to extract from that community. That's not my play. And I really I want to support those folks because they're supporting me and they're supporting anybody who wants to be a part of it, which is freaking cool. Crypto Bear, what's good? Fortunately, the mouth breathers are tiny. Yes, fortunately. Most of it is the support of all legit DeFi products and Pulse Chain elsewhere. I know. You guys, and Hex Monkey, great leader. He's been very outspoken, supporting all sorts of folks. Thank you. Be like him. I mean, you guys are smart enough at this point. The people that listen to this are smarter than 99% of people out there about decentralized finance. And the founding principles. RH taught everybody. Use your brains, look into stuff, and you can make decisions without somebody telling you what to do or what not to do. And this is a problem that you run into. Some people who get really, really rich on Hex and have gotten really, really rich on Hex, understandably so, have an extreme loyalty to it, an emotional connection because sorry, cat hair here, my cat. It's created a fundamental change and shift in their lives, in their families' lives. So yeah, you're going to feel loyal to that. I just think that people take it too far. Now, the question is, at some point in the future, does the Titan X community turn into what this turned into during the bear market? I'd hope not. It's going to take leaders leading and standing up and taking shots and punching back. Because if you don't have the good people talking, if you don't have good men leading, then people look for the next loudest person in the room. Hello, future millionaires. Team RH is where it all started. It is. Excavator, howdy, folks. Stylo, what is up, my man? Shout out to that $38 payout. I'm here to get yelled at by the chat. Awesome X launched today. It did. It definitely launched today. Congratulations to Awesome X team. That's got to feel good. These sniper bots are sons of bitches, but it is what it is. I think they did very well. I think upwards of 300, almost 400 billion Titan X on day one was used to mint Awesome X. So that's really, really good for the buy and burn and all the other tokenomics that are involved in that contract. Shout out to the Blaze team for that. Good stuff. I'm doing well, man. Thank you. Embrace the innovation. Yeah, guys. I mean, come on, man. Just be smart about it. I've got a tremendous amount of faith in Pulse Chain. I'm not leaving it. But I've just chosen to build bridges instead of freaking tearing people down, man. I'm tired of it. That's why me and a bunch of people decided to launch the Morpheus thing on Titan X, because I think there's so many things that can be done in the future, guys, that you don't even understand yet. Most of you don't understand. And this world is going to be interoperable. It's just going to be interoperable. And I know that all these things are making some of your blood boil here. And I know because I'm pretty well connected, folks. I see screenshots. I see text messages. I know how people operate. I know you saying something to me directly is not the same thing that you're going to say about me behind closed doors. It's human behavior. Look at this. Imagine this. Kings Meadow. If Titan X fails, it's not because of you. I chose to be involved, so I am responsible. Wow. What a novel idea. Taking responsibility for where you put your money in a responsible way. Sometimes it feels like people have completely forgot when RH just taught people. Yeah. I want to be measured. I want to be measured about the things that I say. And if you don't have something to say, don't say it at all, sort of thing. But I think that there's a lot of confusion with people because on one hand, there's a large portion of RH's behavior and statements that were completely legitimate. But then on the other hand, that's all mixed and intertwined with a character arc, playing a character, shock jock sort of behavior. And people don't know how to separate the two still to this day. And that's evidenced in my mind by the fact that, everybody craps on a project until RH endorses it, and then they change their tune and they're happy-go-lucky and cool with everybody again. Hex. RH says something good, another project. Oh, I was just kidding, guys. I was just kidding. I'm just playing a character here. Don't worry about it. Saw that with quite a few people, and that's frustrating, Especially frustrating when you're a person that has significant pull. Followership does not equal intelligence. Followership is probably more of an indication of dedication, I would say. Dedication mixed with at least average content creation. But it's certainly not an indicator of intelligence, I don't think. So you got to be careful, like, use your minds. 90% of you probably smarter than me right now. So you hear what I say and just make your own decisions based off of it. There's loyalty, then there's cult mentality. It's hard to tell the difference, yeah. Oh, dude, I thought it was like $38, $10. You had to pay Uncle Sam's. It's like $6, $7, $8. Hex is no, it's not finished. Of course not. It is just getting started. 100%. Morpheus will melt faces. I'm excited about Pulse Chain. I'm excited about Hex. Super stoked about Morpheus. There's a lot of things that I have been wanting to do for a very long time, and now I'm going to do them. And I'm going to build cool stuff. And it's not like I'm not going to be building a multiplicity of meme coins, guys. That's not what this is going to be. Anything that's going to be put out there is going to have a purpose and reason and specific utility moving forward. Right now we have Texan on Pulse Chain, and we're going to have Morpheus on Ethereum. And then what you're going to see spawn out of that is interesting. RH will return and silence everyone. Can't wait for this moment. RH is what it started. He can silence everybody with his chart, and that's what's probably going to happen. Conspiracy Crypto, what's up, dude? Kayfabe, that's how you reconcile the 2% of RH. I try not to think too much about his personas because I don't know where one starts and the other begins, but it's very effective. He can pull that off much better than me. BTC is heading on 97K. How about that? Buy altcoins. Yeah. My prediction is 102. It's going to wick up to 102. That might be way too much. Some people are calling for 85. I just notice how it keeps getting lower and lower and lower as time goes on. I remember being in Twitter Spaces when Twitter Spaces started, and people are calling for 240K, 120K Bitcoin, 140K. 140 was real popular, but I think it'll barely make it to 100. I think it maybe wicks up real quick and then gets sold back down. Munoz. What's up, Munoz? Nice to have you in here. The world's youngest billionaire in the making. He's cooking right now. Let him cook. You better be excited. Oh, I'm excited. You excited? I'm excited. Let's go. Dude, I feel excited, man. I feel good. I've got a little motivation again to make videos and stuff. It's like, at the very least, I'm tweeting. At the very most, I'm live streaming. At the very, very, very most, I'm making actual videos. So I'm starting to get that motivation back. People are starting to light up a little bit. It's good. Quinn says, Lima Foxtrot Golf. Let's freaking go. Munoz says, Can we see PulseX 15x above SAC rate sometime in 2025? Dude. Yeah, I've got no doubt in my mind that that's possible. I've got zero doubt in my mind. Sorry if you guys, my phone just goes off. It doesn't stop 50 times a day. Yeah, no doubt in my mind. I think Hex could hit 50 cents in weeks, like start to finish weeks. And people coming in from the outside just don't understand. They don't understand. They really are the drive-by media. That coin was turned by Rush Limbaugh, but they are the drive-bys, dude. They just come in, they shoot off at the mouth, they stir everybody up. It makes them feel good about themselves, moral superiority, and then they just leave and bounce out, and then they get wrecked because they don't participate. That's why. And then they come back, and the cycle starts again. They get upset and cry about it, and you just hold it. Can we see PulseX? Yes. Need to pump them numbers up. I'll tell you one really good thing. If I make content for Pulse Chain, nobody freaking watches it. It's true. I guess I'm not pure enough. Okay. Well, to be honest, you got really good content creators out there. I don't have breasts, not blonde hair or brunette. I don't wear PulseX skivvies and panties on stream. Maybe if I did that, I could pump my numbers up a little bit. Maybe. I don't think you guys want to see me in that state. I just don't think so. However, I've been making interviewing projects with Titan X, and those folks, man, numbers are shooting up with those guys. Those guys are hot on fire right now. You guys should reach out to these people, man. These are all Pulse Chain people. They're all Pulse Chain people. They're all Hex people. Quinn, you keep that shit to yourself. I don't have nothing to do with that, Quinn. Good God Almighty. Mobius, you laughing, man? Let's check this out. So yeah. How much of the Titan X community is Hex and Pulse Chain? I would estimate, I think they got about, well, let's just check. Let me share the screen so I can show you guys how to check this. I'll do this. So let's go to, this is one good way. Go to Dex Screener, Titan X here, type it in. 5.9 million, the liquidity. Those farms just really helped out. They got $3.4 million of liquidity in WETH. That's really good. And 2.5 million in Pool Titan X. That's on V3, and typically you see that upside down, but it's not upside down in this instance. That's good. All right, so if you go here down to Titan X and you go to expand here, open and block Explorer. So you can open and block Explorer. It takes you to Etherscan Block Explorer, and you can actually do this now for Pulse Chain, or at least you could. It might be broken by now. And then what you do, you're going to see these like 7 tabs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Transfers, holders, info, dex trades, contract. You can check the contract out. If you guys want to know like a quick way to read contracts, just open up ChatGPT. You copy paste in and just tell ChatGPT to teach you about it. That's how easy it is now. No excuses. Play like a champion. All right, we go to holders. So that's what we want. Total holders 17,000. So the question is, out of those 17,000, how many are Pulse folks? I would estimate 40%. And that's because, I mean, it started, maybe less. Maybe say like 25 or 30%. It started out with a lot of pulse chain folks, but then when it went crazy, it started showing up on all the Ethereum websites and Dex Screener and all the places, right? So that attracted a whole different crowd from the Ethereum pool. And there's really not much going on Ethereum. When Morpheus audit's complete, audit got completed yesterday evening. I've just been traveling. We're gonna you go to Morpheus.win. We're gonna put it up on the website, probably like Monday or Tuesday. But it's complete, no issues at all. And it's already been audited. It was like a rough fork of Inferno with some adjustments. So it's really been audited already. It's solid code. So Godfather J6, 25, let's just call it 30%. 30%, and then the rest came after. 17,000 wallets. And it's growing pretty well. I'd have a field day with that content. I bet you would. I mean, if I'm going to make that content, I might as well open up my own OnlyFans. Actually, I think I already opened up my OnlyFans. I think I'm on there. I've got no content on there. I was when I was opening up Brandon Davis' show, I was like just going everywhere, opening up all my accounts. They're like, "Yeah, bullshit, Brandon. We know why you're on OnlyFans." When Morpheus. The only way you're going to find out is if you join the Telegram. t.me/Morpheus win. Good evening, all. Hex Honcho. Brenton Eastlick, what's up? So Titan X Hub. So yeah, I actually sent that to Mike Dean this evening. But he's slammed. He'll get to it tomorrow, I think. Together. The idea of diversification makes sense to a point if you don't know what you're doing. Is that your original idea? Is that original? I don't think it is, because I've heard it a million times. I think Warren Buffett said it. I actually tend to believe that diversification makes a whole lot of sense in cryptocurrency. Now, it's a little bit different in the arenas we play in here, though, right? It's because if you got a solid contract, you got some sort of community, and then you're paired with the thing that's going to do well, then maybe diversification doesn't make as much sense. And then there's the argument to say, well, Pulse Chain is going to just rip anyway. Why would you be in anything else? Well, probably will. But then there's something else too. There is something to be said about community. Charlie Munger. RIP. Warren Buffett famously stated that diversification is protection against ignorance, meaning that while diversification can be beneficial to investors who lack deep understanding of individual companies, it makes little sense for those who can thoroughly research and identify truly exceptions. So it was a Warren. Maybe he got it from Charlie. Who knows? For those who haven't paid attention close to the entire Titan X ecosystem, what would you suggest being the place to start after someone knows about Titan X and mining? That's a good question. I mean, quite honestly, if you don't know a lot about it, just hold Titan X, because Titan X is about to take off. You guys can quote me. I mean, you're going to be able to literally in 30 or 60 days revisit this YouTube live, and you're going to be able to go back and say, Brandon was way off or Brandon was correct. So if you really just feel overwhelmed or you don't have time to research this stuff, learn about Titan X, start there, because all of these protocols are burning it. That's what's happening. And if all the protocols are burning it, then what happens? Yeah, E280 will be an easy button in 11 hours. Yeah, I interviewed Dude yesterday, so you guys can check all that out. Element 280 here. So I live streamed yesterday. Hex Down Under, what is up, my man? Hope all is well, brother. You still fighting the heavy bag there? Even though I hated Titan X in the past, I'm trying to be better, do better. I really like this building bridges approach. We need to unite and let people do their research, do their own thing. Yeah, guys, come on, man. I mean, I was on record saying that, Jake turned me off because he was in he was my DMs. He was trying to get me in his group. And that was like, I didn't have a relationship with him. And, it's just it was a sales approach, and I've been very straightforward about that. But at the same time, he's a pretty intrepid dude, man. You got to give him that. I don't hate the guy. I don't know him that well, but he's done something that's very difficult to do. He's pulled people together towards a common goal. A lot of people, and the protocol is doing exactly what it's designed to do. I'm actually going to be streaming with him this week, so everybody's collective heads can pop in tandem. Got your beard trim, feeling fresh. I got mine. I actually live stream it, and then it like died in the middle because, well, the live stream froze because I had somebody call me. It's actually my buddy who I haven't talked to in like 10 years. And he says he's retiring from the Navy and I need to come out to his retirement party in San Diego. So maybe we'll do that. It's probably dangerous. Me around a bunch of sailors, tequila, and just fist fights, and all sailors and all dogs stay off the lawn sort of stuff. Thanks. Confirmed thoughts. I'll wait for Morpheus. Yeah. Sandy Beach, what is up? Nice to have you here. Hey, Brandon, everyone. Yeah, you're all here to make money for your family. Yeah, you or your family, guys. Just stop this craziness, man. If you got nothing nice to say, just don't say it. Just keep moving. Sandy, see, I don't know what happened there. Do we have any I did not take you off, Sandy. I didn't know that you were actually ever an admin. I don't remember that. Let's see what we can do here. Can we make Sandy an admin? I can't because I'm not on my YouTube. Maybe I can go to my YouTube real quick. You guys might get an echo. We'll go to my channel. We'll go to all aboard. Dude, my banner just looks like garbage. It's like 2-bit AI garbage. I need to change that. You guys get that echo? All right, we're Sandy Beach here. See, I don't do this for most people, but I trust her. I trust you, Sandy. There's normally a process, and it involves you gotta politic a little bit, man. You gotta get votes. You gotta write down. You gotta like speak publicly about like why you would actually want to be an admin. This isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. I don't give out admin stuff like Pez dispensers. Yes, you were my number 3. I'm flattered. keep pushing you. Yeah, proud to be part of this community. Yeah, that's weird, Sandy, because I don't even play with that. I don't even mess around with that. I should check those. See who else is admin there. Yeah, guys, get some exposure. I'm telling you, get some exposure. If you want to use it to do stuff with Pulse Chain in the future, fine, do that. But I will tell you the purpose of me being, involved with those guys too is not to extract value from these people. You can't live with yourself. Karma's a real thing, folks. And I just enjoy being over there because they don't give me as much shit as y'all knuckleheads do. And I love building, man. I love building stuff. BuildTheTech.com, by the way. I'm going to start streaming with some of the people who I've launched with. And I'll let you guys know, I don't take any of their supply or any of their tokens. I don't do that. Actually, what I do tell people is this. I tell people that if you do want to, and most people don't take it, if you do want to give us supply of your tokens, we are literally going to dump it day one, second one. All right. And then everybody says, okay, we don't want it. It's because we want real money, I think I'm just going to make it a thing not to take it at all. I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth all the headache. It's not, people can't blame you if something goes bad. You have like an insider that you told your buddy about it, and he comes and nukes it, and they blame it on the devs not doing it. So BuildTheTech.com, we got some coming to market, got some projects we've been building. And if you guys don't know, it's a full service Web3 company, completely legitimate. And we will help you with every aspect of custom design for whatever project that you want to build. I also consult. I've got an incredibly talented team with decades and decades and decades of experience who have been around the biggest, most notable projects in decentralized finance and continue to participate in those. And guess what? Maybe you're a business owner and you just need maybe a mobile app. Okay. Maybe you need a website refresh. Maybe you need somebody to come in and design something real nice for you, for your online footprint. Or maybe you need like logo and branding. We literally do everything. And then we can also, if you do launch a project or maybe you're just a regular business out in town, we can take care of all your social media for you. Okay. So we can take your long form piece of content, like what I'm doing right now. Let's say you're a business owner. You would send this off to my folks. We can chop it up for you. We can post it to shorts consistently every week on many different platforms as well. So that's pretty nice. So whatever platforms you want us to post it on. And we'll take care of comments. We'll just take care of everything. Editing, everything that you need to give you a good product and good footprint online. Because let's face it, that's, marketing's the biggest thing in a business. Marketing's the biggest thing in crypto. Cryptomatic, what's up? Is this DJ Cryptomatic? When next podcast? I got a couple in the hopper here. This month. Well, yeah, this month. Quinn, I was in Utah with Ty in June. I'm sorry I didn't reach out to you. You don't want to reach out to Quinn. No. No next time, Quinn. Down. Bullish EHEX. Why are you bullish on EHEX, Andre? Hex 1. Isn't Hex 1 something on Deck Screener right now? I saw a Hex 1. What's Hex 1 all about? Yeah, somebody made a Hex 1 token. Don't know what it is. Let's see if there's a description. I saw it in a pairing that I was looking at earlier. Stablecoin. A stablecoin backed by T-shares. Hex 1 is greater than $1 worth of Hex. Well, this is it's a 12-cent discount. So it's not a stable. We won't go into that. All right, what time we got here? I got stuff to do, man. Let me respond to this person here. Brent Eastlick says, what's your Tink strategy? My entire Tink strategy was getting involved within the first hour when the APIs were 6 figures, upper 5 figures, rather. Market buy some Tink, maybe. I like managing my own positions too. There's interesting opportunity with the farms, though. If you know that a certain farm is getting X amount of, and this also goes, by the way, you can build a protocol in PulseX off of some of the APY that PulseX farms are shooting out there. Certainly higher than validator APY. But you can build an entire project where you take economic energy and you start to take over the biggest positions in some of these pools, and you start getting bigger rewards and bigger shares. And then you can feed your own token that way. It's interesting. I invite anybody who wants to come and build on Morpheus. Okay. If anybody wants to come build on Texan, you can talk to me. We'll shoot out ideas, and I have the means to make it happen, help you make it happen. Been so busy with farm life, Titanx worth a look. I think it is. I wouldn't be talking about it. I try not to steer you guys wrong here. There's not tons of things that I actually endorse. There's a handful of things I endorse. I talk about stuff, but I also tell you that it's not an endorsement. It's just, hey, I'm interviewing a founder. So yeah, I think it's worth a look. The Hex community looks a bit broken, but a few green weeks, yes, and RH has returned. I can't wait. Titanx feels like Pulse Chain did during the sacrifice phases. Yeah, but it's to market. It's different. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Everyone's happy and joyful. Yeah, it feels good, man. It feels good. RH comes back. I'll be interested to see who he comes back as. What character are we gonna get? Maybe, the RH that everybody talks about back in the day. I think the Hex community was a lot like the Titanx community is now. Prior to them, having to deal with crypto just tanking them or trying to fight with them. You helped me make a quick $125 a day, Rags. How did I do that, dude? What did I talk about today? Oh, the dome guys. Guys, the flat earthers. You guys know that I've streamed with these guys like twice, 2 or 3 times. Good friends with, well, not good friends. We're friends. Flat Earth Dave. So they've got 200,000 people, users of their apps between the Android store and the Apple store. The Flat Earth app, which is like the Zodiac app. You can download it now and check it out. But they launched on Pulse Chain, guys. And now they're integrating their Dome token into every aspect of their app with 200,000 users. That's pretty freaking cool. Regardless of what you believe, that's what adoption looks like from an existing community. What did I tell you guys? We started with the Texas Nationalist Movement. We said, guys, 501c4, nonprofit, already have a community set. Communities can be very motivated. And Dome token, man, it's crushing. Let's pull it up. Talked to you guys about this a long time ago when it launched. Everybody laughed at me in my comments. Don't know what to tell you here. Let's click Logarithmic. They've been around since beginning of April. Let me share. Dome Shot. That's what it's called. I mean, Dome Shot's out here crushing. It's just been steady grinding. You guys probably can't see that, can you? There we go. It's paired to this primary pairing is in PulseX. So shout out to Matt Long. Shout out to Flat Earth Dave. We chatted a little bit before it launched, but they've been crushing it. Mobius says I got my 38X so far and still going. Yeah. What I think about the RH case, I think that none of this really matters right now because I do believe at this point that Donald J. Trump's going to be the next president of the United States. And I think within 90 days or less, I think Gensler's going to be out. I think I can reform my opinions after that, depending on who takes his spot, which what do they say? The CEO, was it CEO of Robinhood? Potentially the big man on campus taking Gensler's spot here. Yeah, Donald J. Trump. Here's the thing, guys. I think they would have been better off leaving Biden. I think they would have. It is just so disgusting how the media is just complicit in trying to push her into the White House. And they try to hide her. White House trying to hide her. There's a blitz lately. She's been going on all the late shows. She's calling into Howard Stern. And she's trying to do all these things because the poll numbers came out. The Quinnipiac poll came out and had Donald Trump leading in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Or Michigan and Wisconsin. You freaking kidding me right now? That put those people in a tizzy. The Democrat strategists are freaking out right now, this close to the election. So I think Trump's going to take the dub, man. And I'm not, I'm trying to keep level-headed about it. But I think that's going to happen, but I'm not for sure. I'm a little bit older and wiser now, and I try not to. You just don't know ultimately. But I can't imagine how hard it would be for a party to do what they had to do with Joe Biden and Kamala. And at the very end of the race, you have to pull Joe Biden and you put a brand new candidate in that the United States, quite frankly, based on polling numbers, hated prior to that. And the only reason everybody loves her now is because the media has such a tight control over the soft mush of the working class in America, 50% of them at least. But now they're, beginning to see it's just so inauthentic, man. And here's the thing. Here's what I also know. Most of the media that I consume is probably not positive media about her. So then there's that slant and that tilt. But guess what? Here's how I feel. I feel like the Democrats are I think that the leadership and the policies that they stand for is mostly maybe well-intentioned, but absolutely poisonous, kryptonite, like, to society. It destroys society, destroys it. They sacrifice the future for the present. The economic policies are nightmarish. Social policies are good for people in the short term. And it's really difficult for me the abortion thing is just crazy. It's crazy to me. I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being. And there's not anybody that could ever convince me that murdering a baby is a good thing. Never. That's exactly where I stand. I will debate anybody. I will go to war for unborn children. And I believe that human beings in the womb should have rights. 100%. And it's disgusting to me to see people play these word games to try to get out of even calling a child in the womb a baby or human. They do the whole fetus thing, which fetus in Latin, I'm pretty sure means baby. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, fetus in Latin. Offspring. The Latin word for fetus is fetus, which means offspring, bringing forth, hatching of young. Screw these people, man. Screw all these people. If what I'm saying makes you upset, I'm not going to take my words back. I'm more saying, like, screw the opinions. Screw your opinion on abortion. Okay. Screw that. Doesn't mean that I hate you. I've not met you. It doesn't mean that I hate you. All right. That's not what it means. But dude, when you have children, it's just like, dude, it makes me tear up sometimes when I think about just how we can displace the idea that these children don't feel, they don't feel what's happening to them. There's nobody there to stick up for them. They're literally guarded by their mother's body in her belly. And then there's nobody there to be their advocate. You freaking kidding me? The doctors, man. I would not want to be an abortion doctor and die and have to meet whoever the maker that you're going to meet. I would not want to be in that position. It's just disgusting, man. And to hear some of the jokes that these doctors make about they're playing with these children's parts. And then sometimes, dude, come on, man. It's horrible. Freaking horrible. Axis Alive, what's up, dude? Axis came in a weird conversation, but guess what, guys? We're just going to roll with it. You guys got to know where I stand on some of this stuff. It's a massive reason why I would never in a million lifetimes vote Democrat. Rags doesn't hate you. I hate you, though. Yeah. Crypto Compassion, what's up? From Conception. Seen the video of an egg being fertilized. There's a physical spark. It's wild. Yeah. Like, I mean, we could get deeply philosophical here. We don't know what consciousness is. We don't even know what thoughts are. You think that you're the arbiter and you think that you are the master of your own thoughts? Then tell me something. Why do you have to think about something? Where does that thought come from? If you have to solve a problem, if you have all the thoughts and all the ideas already, shouldn't you just be able to know the answer instantly? Where do those come from? Where do thoughts come from? Have you ever had one of those epiphanies where it just pops into your head out of nowhere? You weren't even trying. Who controls that? Right? And then you kind of take it even further and you ask yourself, like, some of you guys have obsessive compulsive disorder, for example. There's a thought that pops in your head and you don't want it to be there, right? You don't want the thought to be there, but you can't stop it. It keeps popping up. It's a negative thought. It's bad. It's horrible. If you could, shake a magic wand and make it go away, it would. So where do those thoughts come from? How come you can't control it? Well, that's kind of scary. If these thoughts are in your head and you can't control it, well, who the hell is controlling these thoughts that pop into your head? If you wish it to be gone and you can't make it be gone, what mechanism in your brain is causing that? I think about ideas as this. I think about, let's say I'm in my hotel room. Okay. And let's just say I'm laying down on the carpet, living life, then a problem comes up. And I have to use my brain. I got to think and I got to figure out how to solve the problem. What am I really doing? All I'm doing is standing up and I'm looking out the window. And the window is where all of the solutions are. The solutions aren't in my head. I'm looking out the window and I'm observing until the solution I see fits my problem. That's how I see things happening, personally. We just got kind of weird here. It is what it is. Fun stuff. Titan X Farms or Next Level Tokenomics is good. Well, it's a farm. It's a farm with some tweaks. The input token stuff, so the thing with Titan X Farms is there's things called input tokens, which is Ethereum. It's going to be Hydra. It's going to be Hyper. It's going to be Titan X. It's going to be Dragon X. These are called input tokens. And when you go to the farm, what you're actually doing when you add equal liquidity to the farm, it's taking both sides and it's setting them as single-sided liquidity. So they're single-sided positions, even though you have to put equal amounts of the farm, it's going to take that and manage it differently. Single-sided positions. So if you have an input token, so let's say you have Hydra and let's say you have Titan X, you're going to get the drip from the farm from Tink, but the issue is you're not going to get the fees that are created and are being managed by the farms. Those fees, portion of them go to buy and burn Tink, then up to 25% of them, I think, get sent back to a wallet to be used for things in the future. And that's what most people don't know. Now, I think the only farm available, so as long as you have at least one side that is not an input token. And I think in this instance, Vault Titan X, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be Vault Dragon X. So when you put your position in, you're going to have one position of Vault, one position of Titan X. You're not going to get the fees that are created by the Titan X side, but you will get the fees created by the Vault side. So then the game theory here is like, if you have a meme token, or if you have a token that's a non-input token that's getting tremendous amounts of volume and they put it on the farms, is it going to be beneficial for you to participate in that farm rather than a farm with two input tokens where you're not going to get the fees? And I guess that all depends on the APR, APY of the TINK, the emissions token as well. But it's something that most people don't understand. You can check it out in the white papers. I think it's TitanXFarms.win, TitanXFarm.win, or TitanFarms.win, TitanFarm.win. And then at the bottom, there's a docs button. So that's the biggest thing that people need to understand. It'll be interesting to see, as this develops, what other tokens are going to kind of be put on the farms. Because quite frankly, having your token put on that farm is going to be like the panacea. It's going to be like the ultimate blessing for liquidity, for marketing, for everything. It's extremely valuable for your token to be on there. So I'll be interested to see how much they open that up. Maybe Morpheus will be on there one day. We'll see. Cosmic consciousness is real. I think at this point, how can you deny that? How can hundreds of thousands of people take DMT and all see the same creatures, all travel through space, the same tunnel, the same creatures, the same height, the same dimensions? Like, that's weird, right? The little green men. I've not gone on a journey with dimethyltryptamine. I don't intend on doing it, but it's quite interesting to hear the harrowing accounts from some of these people. Fraud is the only way she could win. Because molecules constantly change their state, we barely understand reality, at least dimensions. Guys, we don't know anything, man. We don't know anything. Even your thoughts that you think right now that you think are original, they probably aren't. And if they are original, they're probably shit. And that's because we learn from previous generations. So like, we can't even say that our thoughts are original because we got some sliver of the idea here and sliver of the idea here, sliver of that, and put them together. Like, what is a real original thought? And I've thought to myself, I'm like, have I ever had an original thought? I don't know. I don't know if I have. Maybe we're talking about like, broadly sweeping, axiomatic sorts of wisdom, that sort of stuff. Maybe not like my opinion on Titan X Farms, obviously. But even then, see, we can just go down rabbit holes. I find my OCD is a helpful skill for success in crypto. Dude, you got to use your weaknesses and turn them into strengths, man. That's how you grow. Is it a weakness? Is it meant to be a weakness? Who knows? Worst thing about the churches stay silent on these issues because they're worried about the 501c3 corporation status versus proclaiming the truth. The churches are wrecked, dude. The churches are wrecked. Churches don't freaking read the Bible. Churches don't believe in the Bible. The churches, I think a lot of the church stuff, it has to do with money, and it has to do with the money that are coming through the coffers. Imagine that half your congregation is pro-abortion. Are you going to preach a sermon about how horrible abortion is? No, because then you're not going to be able to pay the bills. It's mostly trickles back to money. And you don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up there in the pulpit and be truthful about it. Biologists were asked at what point in life a mammal began. 95% said inception. And they asked, is it different? Yeah, of course. when asked the same question about humans, they had a different answer in line as the Democrats. Guys, yeah, it's brain, it's liberalism is a communicable disease. It's brain rot. You do get fees as well as Tink. Is Tink an input? Let me check here. I think Tink's an input, right? Titanfarms.win. 24 million total managed liquidity, which is cool. The WETH, let's see how much WETH is in here, because that's really what matters to me. And these APYs are dropping quite a bit. Congratulations, you got so $2 million worth of WETH, 822 WETH, $2 million worth. That's what counts. Good stuff. Tink Vault. All right, let's go down to docs, white paper rather, not docs. And then let's go to input tokens. Tink is not an input token. That's why you get the fees. Tink is not an input token. Yep, burnt by LP fees. Correct. Tink is deflationary. Thank you, Brandon. Have a great night. Sandy Beach, have a good night. Godfather J6, when Pulse does its 1000X, what flat earth theory are you putting to test first? Oh, shoot. I just want to get like a super, like, I don't know, get a bunker, do some underground testing, create a drone that's capable of, 60,000 miles of flight, maybe solar panels, send it up way in the atmosphere so it can glide mostly, and just see how far we can go. See if we actually circumnavigate the globe or we go somewhere else. All thought is omnipresent. There's something here. There's something to be said about that stuff. Even raw remnant ligand is often paid off by the military-industrial complex. So, yeah. So the definition are basically, let's see here. What's the actual? We'll just read from the paper. Input tokens are tokens whose fees are harvested to buy and burden Tink and to provide fees for Genesis. Genesis can enable new input tokens. Any token can be an input token. Trading fees generated by input tokens are not distributed to users, but sent to the buy and burn contract to burn Tink. The following tokens are input tokens: ETH, Titan X, Dragon X, Hydra, Hyper. Protocol fees. And this is the 25% thing I was talking about. Protocol fees are deducted from input tokens before they are sent to the buy and burn contract. Protocol fees are adjustable up to 25% and will be used to support future Titan X development depending on trading volume in a pair. The protocol might be adjusted. I think there was a period that needed to be in there that wasn't. So that should answer your question. Ulti, win Luna Pump. Fiber. It's coming, buddy. Just hang on, man. Just hang on. I'm not, no, what's Ulti all about, dude? Axis was asking us if anybody's looked into Ulti here. Gospel Preacher, what's good? Brother from another mother. Gospel Preacher, how do I know you? Did you have another screen name at some point? Jeez, dude, it's okay. I thought it was much later. I've got a long early day tomorrow. We're gonna get some business done. That's the one, Steph. Oh, Steph. Oh, shoot. Heck, Sheriff. Nice. Things are a wreck here in NC. I know, man. It's rough. It's crazy. I was like, I posed this question. I said, if FEMA can't handle Western North Carolina disaster wise, what the hell is you going to think? What happens if the United States gets attacked? And you have major metropolitan areas that are in shambles. Like, so when you think about it that way, why are we giving FEMA billions, tens of billions of dollars a year? What purpose do they really serve? Should we give tens of billions of dollars to those localities instead? Don't you think that that would be a better use of the money? FEMA's wild, man. It's government. Which you guys, government gobbles money up. It gobbles it up, and it starts to its own life form, and it's not about homeostasis. It's not about just being okay. It's about power, and it keeps getting bigger, and it keeps trying to gobble up more and more and more and more. FEMA, prime example. IRS, prime example. Department of Justice, FBI, probably prime examples of these things. It needs to be crushed. It needs to be crushed because if you don't crush it, it's going to crush you. Remember when Rigby said RG3 ain't got shit? I don't remember that. When did that happen? Pulsar is live. Yeah, Pulsar's been live. Swizzle Sticks. What's up? What's up with Pulsar, man? Where's Pulsar at? Pulsar, where you at? Pulsar's trying to get its act together right now. Guys, I know how they feel, man. You can do everything right. Once you launch that, you go on Tesla or mainnet, things can get weird. They can get different. But I got a lot of faith in old GIF and that team over there. They'll pull it out. They're trying to build bridges too here. I'll remind you, Quinn says. I'm near Asheville. Been live for 13 minutes. What are you talking about, dude? Been live for Pulsar? Did you say Pulsar? You trying to scam me, bro? What are you talking about? Pulsar. Pulsar's been live for 11 days. What are you talking about? You got your damn mind. You got me over here second guessing myself. You know something I don't know? Let me check here. So you're saying you can now mint? Is that what you're saying? Pulsar is live again. Oh, good. Minting page, you got that. Pulsar contract, 4 Titan X plus current WETH price of Titan X. Mints 1 Pulsar. You have 5 days to mint new Pulsar from Pulsar V0 before it closes permanently. 1 Pulsar V0 mints 1 Pulsar and 0 protocol fee. 5-day timer. Stay arb thirsty, my friends. Okay, so if you can go to pulsar.giffordware.win. Let's go there. Pulsar.giffordware.win. win. Huh. So I guess you can swap, you can mint. That's cool. Good stuff. Here's the front end here. And actually, it's here. Share this tab instead. There she is. Very simple. Send eTitan X. Mint Pulsar. All right. Pulsar V0. So you can take, if you have old Pulsar, you can do your V0 and mint into the new Pulsar. And that's only up for 5 days. So if you've got some, make sure you swap it over. Good call, dude. All right. Ladies and gents, it is about time for me to head out here. I'm going to get something on belly before I go to bed. It's been grand. I'm going to keep doing some of these streams here. I'd highly encourage you to get into Morpheus, t.me/Morpheus win. I'm going to tell you, there's 2 things I got to tell you about it. Right. The first thing is day 1 will be so important. It will be so important for reasons that you won't understand for a while, but it's going to be so important. And the second thing is Christmas 2024, She Awakens. Cheers, folks.